Hey everybody, welcome back to Our Fresh Life. It's been an awesome first week, kind of trying to figure everything out. It's been a little bit crazy, but I wanted to give you kind of an update on what I think the schedule is going to be a little bit, so you maybe have an idea of what to expect. It might change because life is busy and kids are busy, and just in general everything, as you know, needs to be flexible. At least how I like it to be when I think about it in my brain. I want to post videos like this and, videos in general on YouTube and Facebook on Fridays, so once a week. And I'm planning to post 3 or 4 times on Instagram at Our Fresh Life. It's _Our Fresh Life _. So the link will be in the description below. If you're not following me over there, make sure you do, because I'll be sharing lots of recipes and little quick, just easy things that are easy to post, and also stories over there, that type of stuff. And then at least one blog post a week on my blog, Our Fresh Life, at ourfreshlife.com. So I'll have all of those links in the description below. So make sure that you are connected in those places so that I'll be able to kind of interact with you in a bunch of different places. Thank you for all your questions on the last video. You guys had some awesome things to say. We're gonna cover a lot of those things that you talked about over the next couple of months. I'm trying to kind of work out on a calendar how to present everything. So I'm really, really excited about that. I hope you guys are excited too. I think this is gonna be really fun. One of the things when we talk about trying to find balance in our family, one of the really huge cornerstones of that has been our health, the food we eat, the way we take care of our bodies, so that we have the ability and all the energy that we need and want to do all those things. This is gonna be a really important part of that. So thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all your awesome questions. We're gonna be covering things like how our mornings go, like morning routines with food, and how different meals go for us and different routines we have that way. We're gonna talk a little bit even this spring about some cool ways we have found to have food storage and emergency storage for our family when we eat so fresh. Obviously, those things aren't exactly as storable as other things, and so I'll kind of talk to you about some of the things that we've done to kind of make all that work for you as well. So stay tuned, it's gonna be awesome. But today, I wanted to make sure that we talked about something to just get you started. When I have taught people about food and their health and nutrition in general in the past, I always try to make sure I can do it in a way that actually is helpful. And so I find that if I can go back to the beginning and just give you some really simple tools, then there's just kind of a platform to build from. Today we're gonna talk about 3 different things. We're gonna talk about 3 ways that you can start eating better today in this next week until I have a new video or until you check in with me again. So here's gonna be 3 things that are gonna be really simple for you to start with if you're just wondering, hey, I need to eat better, hey, I wanna feel a little bit better, or I wanna feel stronger, or I just need to know where to start. Hopefully these 3 things will be helpful with that. Number 1, I want you to be able to go into your pantry or your fridge. You don't have to do it right now, but you can write these 3 things down. So number 1, go into your fridge and your pantry, and I want you to look at the ingredients lists on the food that you eat all the time. You might be surprised. Maybe you won't be surprised. Either way, knowing what we're putting in our body is honestly half of the way there. And it's making decisions that are intentional rather than accidental. And so if you'll go and look in your fridge and in your pantry, you'll be able to see in the ingredients list exactly what it is that you are putting into your body every day. Anytime I've taught people about this, one of the examples that I like to use, because I'm a very visual person, is to think of your body like a car engine. And there is certain fuel that is good for your car engine. And if you have a diesel truck, for example, and you were to put regular unleaded gasoline into that diesel truck, the engine would not work. And just as if you were to put diesel fuel into your other, regular fuel car or truck, it wouldn't work. And so when you learn the fuel that works for your body, then it's helpful to know maybe why we break down, because we're not putting the right fuel in, or how to strengthen it by putting the right fuel in. Number 1 is gonna be looking in your pantry and your fridge, making sure that you can identify the things that you're eating every day. That's a good first start. Okay, so once you've done that, number 2, I want you to pay attention to your hydration. So for you, what I like to always suggest is to make sure that you're getting 50 to 75% of your body weight in ounces of water per day. So that will be different for everybody. I never understood when I was learning about all these things why there would just be a blanket example or a blanket recommendation for water. You know, why would a 200-pound, 6'4" man need 8 glasses of water, and a 5'5" woman who weighs, I don't know, 130 pounds also need 8 glasses of water? It didn't compute in my mind, and so it makes sense to me that there needs to be a ratio dependent on your body's needs. A really good first start is to go 50 to 75% of your body weight in ounces per day. So we've actually turned that into kind of a fun little thing in our house where we know how much everybody weighs, and we've made a little chart for our family where we can fill in and divide it up throughout the day so that we know how much we actually should try and drink per hour in order to reach that goal. And it's a lot more manageable when you realize, like, okay, if I'm drinking these 2 huge bottles of water a day, you know, when do I drink them? And if I drink them all at once, I'm gonna be in the bathroom all day. So we've kind of divided it up so it's easier to make sure you're getting it. And we've also found that as you get it periodically throughout the day and kind of consistently throughout the day, you actually use it better and absorb it better. I have a really cute little chart if you want to use for you or for your family or both. And you can fill out all the information and you can print it out. Nope, reverse that. You can print it out, then fill out all the information, put it on your fridge, put it wherever you need to make sure you can utilize it. And it's just kind of helpful to know where you're at. So like if you forget to drink, you know, any water for the first couple hours of the day, you can catch up before lunch or whatever. I'm gonna have it linked on the blog. So if you want to access that PDF, head over there with the link down there. Knowing what amount of water you need per day, what I want you to do for number 2 of these 3 things is make sure that you replace your typical drinks with just good pure water. So if you like to drink soda throughout the day, or if you're a coffee person, or juice, or whatever it is, try and replace that with your allotted amount of water for the day and see how it works. See if after a couple of weeks you start to feel a difference. Sometimes you feel a difference because you've removed the bad things, and also at the same time you simultaneously feel a difference because you've added water that you were so desperately needing. So that is a really big helpful thing. Number 3 is take any of the snacks that you typically eat. Obviously you're gonna be looking in your pantry and in your fridge so you'll kind of have an idea of what you've typically been eating every day. So for number 3, I want you to replace those snacks with some fruits and vegetables instead. So if you usually grab a granola bar, grab an apple, or a banana, or a handful of strawberries, or blueberries, or anything like that, or some celery, or what else? Cucumbers are great, broccoli, cauliflower. Just grab something that replaces what you'd typically snack on in that moment, and that will give you a way of just an easy first little swap of certain things, just to start eliminating some of the things that aren't so great for us, but at the same time introducing some of the things that really are awesome for us. And that will give you a really good first place to start. Number 1 is the awareness, knowing how you're doing, what you're doing, where you're doing, all those things. Number 2 is to really start to get your body hydrated, get the good stuff in that you're really needing. Some people just have a lot of their health challenges and a lot of their complaints that they have disappear simply by adding the water that they need and cutting out the stuff that wasn't really helping them. And then for number 3, replacing some of our not so great go-to snacks with some really great go-to snacks. All of those things will be really simple, but really positive, and something that you can just do immediately. As we start to talk about these things, we'll go into more detail, but I just want you guys to know that sometimes it's helpful just to know where to start. And sometimes rather than having to figure it all out before we even take a step, sometimes it's just making little baby changes that may not be your ultimate goal, but they're at least a step in the right direction. And sometimes a little bit at a time is better than a whole lot and then having to come all the way back, because, you know, sometimes it's just hard to make changes. Sometimes our bodies are slow to change. Sometimes our minds are slow to change. Sometimes it's just hard to know what to do next. So hopefully these 3 things will help you a little bit as you're trying to just make a couple of positive changes. They will definitely, between those three things, something good will happen, I promise. I also want all of you parents to realize that all of this applies to how you feed your children as well. You know, when you understand how the food or what the food is that you're eating all the time, this is the same for their little bodies. And so what any of these changes that we're talking about are 100% applicable to them. Make sure that as you consider all those things that they need these things just as much as you do. One of my least favorite things I've ever heard, one of the most damaging mindsets that I've ever come across that I just despise, is the idea that the adults get the good stuff and the kids can have the garbage food. That unfortunately is teaching them habits that are hurtful and harmful to their understanding and their relationship with food, but also their understanding of how to take care of their bodies. And so as you think about these things, the hydration and, you know, the food and just swapping out the snacks, make sure that you're aware of how you're just presenting food in general to your family. So whether you're an individual, whether you're a mom, whether you're a dad, whether you're a grandma or a grandpa, all of these things apply straight across the board. So make sure that, you know, if you're asking, well, hey, what about my kids? All of this stuff applies exactly the same to all of you. So hopefully that's helpful too with the questions about the kids, because I know that for us, I've always wanted to make sure that if it was my stewardship to take care of my children, that whatever food I was presenting to them or whatever meals I was creating for them, I was the one that was teaching them about how to take care of their body. And so I really took it seriously. So as you guys apply these things this week, just make sure that you realize that they do all apply straight across the board. Just, you know, just as importantly, give me all of your questions that you have here or on Instagram or on the blog, and I'll try and make sure that I cater to the things that you're really asking and wanting to learn. But I just have found in the past that when I start at the very, very basics, it gives us something to build on. So if you know all these things, great, you're in a good place. If you don't, make a couple changes so that as we keep going and talking about these things, when we talk about health stuff, you'll be able to just get better and better, and you'll know more and more. So make sure you subscribe. Next week's gonna be great, I'm sure. And make sure you come follow me on Instagram at _ourfreshlife_. And also come check out the blog. And there's been some really great recipes on there and some really cool things. The blog address is www.ourfreshlife.com. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're excited. I hope that you are excited to feel better and just to feel stronger, or feel like you can just reach some of the goals that you're really trying to reach, because that's the best we can do. Just do our best every day. Have a great, great day, and I will talk to you soon, okay? Bye.